Okay, it's after 4 on November 7th, 2022, and I'd like to call the inaugural meeting of Courtenay Council to order and respectfully acknowledge that the land we gather on is the unceded territory of the Comox First Nation, the traditional keepers of this land. Welcome to our guests, residents, family, and friends. We're grateful to have you with us at the first meeting of our new council, which includes our council oaths of office. As corporate officer, I will be presiding over the meeting until council has completed their oaths. The meeting agenda is fairly light. We have a blessing from Donna Mitchell of the Comox First Nation, council oaths, an inaugural address from Mayor Wells, and just a few reports before our closing address from Comox Valley Poet Laureate Lawrence J.W. Cooper. Following the meeting, you're all invited to stay for a reception. So we would like to ask Donna Mitchell to join me at the mic and start the meeting for us.
Is it on? Yeah. Yo, Gail Katzler. Oh my goodness, I've got all of you under one roof, all these mayors and council, and it's like, oh my gosh, you guys are in for a treat. You never know what comes out of my mouth. Let's say thanks to those who tried to get in and to those who didn't. Let's clean up the valley of homelessness, drug addicts, healthcare, and bike lanes. You know, we got to fix that. Welcome to our ancestral traditional territory of the Comox First Nations. Blessings all around. Life is not a dress rehearsal. Go out and live it. Like, gosh, you know, life is really short. I think we're going to have a long winter too. It's like, out there. My name is Donna Mitchell, Comox First Nation elder. I come from a long line of hereditary chiefs. My parents and grandparents were residential school survivors. I was part of the 60 Scoop. I got recognized in February of this year. Let's take a moment for the children who woke up the world. And I always like to start out by teasing Bob Wells because he's never given me a ride. And I've been, how many years, Bob? I was almost next door to you and you still didn't give me a ride. And I'm glad I introduced myself to Nicole Minions, but I don't know what she looks like now. Is she here? Or is that Comox one? Okay, I didn't know if she was going to be at this one. Yeah, would have been nice. Yeah, would have been nice. Oh yeah, you said that. Vicki Brown, is she here? No, that's Cumberland one. Geez, I thought that's why I thought we had everybody here. Oh well, my mistake. Because I was going to tease Vicki and say, well, you know, I knew your dad quite well, Harvey, and he would have said, Brown for the house. Because I've been there at their meetings. Okay, I hope everyone does better for this city. Not better, but help with the progress of what's really happening to everything. You know, I could go on and on and on, but you all know the problems and hopefully we can all fix it. Heichka.
Thank you very much. The next item on the agenda is the council oaths of office. Section 120 of the community charter requires that council members make an oath of office within 45 days of the declaration of election results. They must make the oath and sign it before they can take office. And we'll start with Councillor Cole Hamilton.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, I Will Cole Hamilton do solemnly affirm that I'm qualified to hold the office of councillor for the corporation of the city of Courtenay, to which I've been elected I've followed the Local Government Act and all other applicable legislation in relation to my election to office. I will faithfully perform the duties of my office for the betterment of my community, and my conduct in public affairs will be lawful and of the highest integrity.
Okay, we'll move to Councillor Frisch next.
Thank you. I, David Frisch, do solemnly affirm that I'm qualified to hold the office of councillor for the corporation of the city of Courtenay, to which I have been elected. I have followed the Local Government Act and all the other applicable legislation in relation to my election to office, and I will faithfully perform the duties of my office for the betterment of my community, and my conduct in public affairs will be lawful and of the highest integrity. Make sure she signs it.
I, Douglas Hillian, do solemnly affirm that I am qualified to hold the office of councillor for the corporation of the city of Courtenay, to which I have been elected. I have followed the Local Government Act and all other applicable legislation in relation to my election to the office. I will faithfully perform the duties of my office for the betterment of my community, and my conduct in public affairs will be lawful and of the highest integrity.
Okay, and we've got code of conduct.
Yes.
Okay.
I, Evan Jody-Carroll, do solemnly affirm that I am qualified to hold the office of councillor for the corporation of the city of Courtenay, to which I have been elected. I have followed the Local Government Act and all other applicable legislation in relation to my election to the office. I will faithfully perform the duties of my office for the betterment of my community, and my conduct in public affairs will be lawful and of the highest integrity.
I, Melanie McCollum, do solemnly affirm that I am qualified to hold the office of the councillor for the corporation of the city of Courtenay, to which I've been elected. I have followed the Local Government Act and all other applicable legislation in relation to my election to the office. I will faithfully perform the duties of my office for the betterment of my community, and my conduct in public affairs will be lawful and of the highest integrity. I, Wendy Moran, do solemnly affirm that I am qualified to hold the office of councillor for the corporation of the city of Courtenay, to which I've been elected. I have followed the Local Government Act and all other applicable legislation in relation to my election to the office. I will faithfully perform the duties of my office for the betterment of my community,
and my conduct in public affairs will be lawful and of the highest integrity.
I, Bob Wells, do solemnly affirm that I am qualified to hold the office of mayor for the corporation of the city of Courtenay to which I have been elected. I have followed the Local Government Act and all applicable legislation in relation to my election to the office, and I will faithfully perform my duties of my office for the betterment of my community. And my conduct in public affairs will be lawful and of the highest integrity. All right. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. Probably the most important thing that you're wondering is, yes, those that are standing in the back can take those reserved seats in the front. We will not be going back to those today. So feel free to sit down and enjoy the next hour or two. Just kidding. It shouldn't be that long. Again, I just want to thank Donna Mitchell for starting us off in a good way, and to Adriana Proton for really doing the oath of office. Just a great job. So with that, we'll do the adoption of minutes and we've sort of scheduled this all out. Oh yeah, I do. Hey, thanks. I'm the first one to talk. There we go. Give me a few years. I'll figure this out. All right. Gayla Kessler, Ethnon and Bob Wells. Welcome, friends and family. I'm Bob Wells, the newly elected mayor of Courtenay. Again, I'd like to first acknowledge that we live, work, and play on the unceded territory of the Comox First Nation, the traditional keepers of this land for thousands of years. Again, I'd like to really thank Donna Mitchell for starting off in our term in a good way. And also, thank you to the families and to my family and to the candidates that ran in the recent election, as well as their families. This election seemed tougher than most, but we all need to heal and come together for our community. I'd also like to thank staff for their excellent work during the election and for the orientation for this new council and our transition. Congratulations to those who were duly elected, 6 of whom were re-elected and 1 new councillor joining our team. I'm confident that the diverse skills and perspectives this council brings to the table will make sound and effective decisions over the next 4 years. I'd like to thank Councillor Manothios for his many years on council serving our community. Although the election sends a message that our community was happy with our progress over the last 4 years, expectations will be even higher for the next 4. To that end, our council is committed to the implementation of our new OCP, or official city plan, with a focus on First Nations reconciliation, climate change, diversity, equity, and community well-being. As a council, we will also need to continue to reach out to those that did not vote for us, as well as those that did not vote at all. This council has committed to communicate back to our community, and we look forward to town halls and other events on various topics throughout this term. As mayor, I will continue to have meet and greets, meet the mayors, I should say, appointments that anyone can make by contacting City Hall, and to be as accessible as possible to our community. Traditionally, city councils and municipalities have been responsible for land use, water, sewer, roads, as well as parks and recreation. However, over the past several years, housing as well as mental health and addictions have become front and center, with a lack of affordable housing and the toxic drug supply straining our communities across our province, as well as our nation. I'm proud of the work our city has done working with developers to optimize our processes without sacrificing safety or the environment, with over 1,400 units built in the past 4 years. The city's also been successful partnering with nonprofits to provide services and resources to meet to those most in need, including the $1 million Strengthening Communities grant to support the Warming Center and other services. We need to continue to explore opportunities to create more housing and supports for those in need. I look forward to the Housing Symposium next year, which will focus on creating nonprofit employee housing partnerships and opportunities. We also increased our policing and bylaw officers over the last 4 years with a focus on prolific offenders and nuisance houses, all while creating partnerships with nonprofits and working together to support our community. I see many opportunities for economic development and look forward to engaging with our community to create a vision for our city to attract and retain businesses. As chair of the Economic Recovery Task Force, I've seen how our communities can come together, and I'm excited to start a new entrepreneurial task force to create the best ecosystem on Vancouver Island, whether people are starting, growing, or moving their businesses here. 4 years ago, I committed to creating a culture of respect and professionalism that would start at City Council and flow through City Hall. I believe we had much success, but must always be focused on improvement. Although we have several challenges ahead of us, I want to stress how optimistic I am as we work collaboratively as a council, a city, and a community as we look for opportunities to work together. Distinguished guests, it is my absolute honor and pleasure to introduce your new council for the 2022 to 2026 term. And with that, are there any councillors that want to make a comment? You're good? Okay. All right. With that being said, I'll move over. The regular council minutes from October 3rd. Councillor Cole Hamilton.
Thanks, Mayor. I'd like to move the council approve the October 3rd regular council meeting minutes.
It's been moved in second. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor? And that's unanimous. Excellent. Next, we have the public hearing meetings for October 3rd. Councillor Frisch.
Thanks, Mayor. I'll move that council adopt the public hearing minutes from October 3rd, 2022.
Been moved and seconded. Any errors or omissions? Seeing none, all those in favor? And that is unanimous again. Next, we have the election results. And that will be Councillor Hillian.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm very pleased to move that council receive the 2022 election results report.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Any questions or comments? So we've approved the election results. It's official now, I guess. That's fantastic. And next we have the signing authority amendments, and that will be Councillor Jolicoeur.
Yes, Mayor, I move that the council rescind all previous banking, investment, financial transaction signing authority appointments and appoint the following individuals and positions of the city as signing authority for the city in regard to all banking, investment, and financial transactions. Robert Wells, Mayor, Jeff Garbett, City Manager, Adam Langermeyer, Director of Financial Services, Kate O'Connell, Director of Corporate Services, Renata Waika, Manager of Finance, Annie Berard, Manager of Financial Planning, Payroll and Business Performance, Adriana Proton, Manager of Legislative Services, and Rayanne Matthews, Deputy Corporate Officer.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any questions or comments regarding that? Seeing none, all those in favor? Any opposed? That passes unanimously. And the mayor's, the acting mayor's schedule, and that is Councillor McCollum.
I'll move that council adopt the acting mayor schedule.
Excellent. Any questions or comments regarding it? I don't think there will be. All those in favor? And that passes unanimously. Excellent. And with that, Councillor Warren.
Great, thank you, Mayor. Well, it's my absolute pleasure to introduce the Comox Valley Poet Laureate Lawrence J.W. Cooper, who's going to do a closing address. Lawrence is a retired psychologist and educator and has been in the Valley for 6 years. Welcome, Lawrence.
Thank you for the privilege of being here. To see local government in action, it's wonderful. I wish our national and provincial people could do as well as you do. I am grateful and honored to live, work, and play in the water, on the land, and through the forests that I love so dearly. They are the unceded traditional territory of the Comox, Aitken, and Pentlatch people. I bring greetings and best wishes from the Comox Valley Arts Council. This poem is called Partnership. We are in this together, you and I. We, the people, have chosen you. Where you lead, we will follow. But if we work side by side, we can do what must be done. When we choose to pull together, we become a fine-tuned instrument. We wield the power to do the impossible. We create compassion out of indifference. We construct warmth for those left in the cold. We establish hope in a world drowning in despair. We are emboldened by the desire to be the best we can be and to do the best we can do. To make a safe place to play when the work is done, to build beauty out of devastation, to create a space for those who wish only for an opportunity to feed themselves and be themselves. It is time to think big thoughts. It is time to dream big dreams. We put aside the voices that would say we are not good enough to make a difference, too fragile to hold the overflowing energy, too weak to run the race to the finish line. But we are guided by a force much greater than you and I, a force that we are creating, a force that is creating us. We give a part of ourselves to each other, and by so doing, we expand to be yet more than we were. We become a community where no person is ever left behind, where children are given a safe place to grow their gifts and talents, to become the people they were born to be. My thoughts go with you.
Thank you very much, Lawrence. That was really emotional and heartfelt. I really do appreciate it. And again, we started good today, and I think we've finished even better. So I just want to thank you for that. And with that, this meeting is adjourned. Councillor Hillian.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. I just want to acknowledge that among the family and friends and working colleagues that are in the audience today, we also have two people who hold the honor of Freedom of the City of Courtenay, and that would be Mr. Edwin Grieve and Ms. Doris Wiseland. And I'd like to acknowledge their presence with us here today. Thank you.
Oh.
Forgot to mention, we also are honored to have our MLA, Ronaway Leonard, with us. Thank you.
I do notice we do have some elected dignitaries, but I didn't want to get going too far down that list. But I will open it up to any councillors that may have thought of anything they'd like to say before we finish our meeting. Councillor Frisch.
Yeah, and just quickly, Mayor, because you asked someone to say something, I just want to thank everyone for coming out today. And I know this probably has felt across the table, really excited and looking forward to the next 4 years working with you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Frisch. With that being said, I call this meeting adjourned.